everybody. It's Lee Caraher, and this is Everything Speaks, where we talk about how everything you do and say speaks for you if you want it to or not. All things PR, all things communications, all things leadership, and everything that we do, our behavior, our habits, what they say about us, and what they're telling other people. People we know, people we don't know, customers, partners, our spouses, our children, our neighbors, the whole shebang. Because the communication is the center of all things, and everything we do speaks for us. Last week, we talked, as I'm waving my pencil around, as people who are watching this can see, we talked about pencil as a wonderful tool, the pencil as a mindset, the pencil as a leadership construct, and the fact that the Ticonderoga Black #2 is the best pencil on the planet. This week, we're going to talk about something totally on the opposite side of technology, AI. And thinking about using AI as a pencil, not a pen. And that is super important because AI is not perfect. It is amazing. And it is amazing as a brainstorming tool, as a tool to, and of course, using the prompts, prompt engineering, the whole thing, but suggesting talking points, suggesting an outline, suggesting, what should I go for dinner, suggesting whatever you're going to do, because it's only as good. Half the battle is it's only as good as your prompt. The other battle is it's only as good as the information out there, because, and then what happens in the middle. And it's a great tool. I love it. I love AI. Also, we've talked in the past, we have AI guidelines, we have ethics, we have code of conduct around AI at the company, the whole thing, right? It is not for signing your name in ink and calling it done. Period. And now with all of the watermarking that different tools are putting in there, don't do it. Don't do it. But let's just talk about why. And the reason is that AI not only has mistakes, but it hallucinates. It makes shit up. So I've seen it in my own work. And then I was talking to a friend the other day who just recently lost their job because of how they used a company-approved AI tool and didn't go through that one step of verification. And the other part of the verification protocol was missing at that moment in time in the entity. Can't talk more about it right now. But anyway. So a few things, right? A few examples of the hallucination. One, it's a fake fact trap, right? You might ask AI, how many pencils are there in the world? And it'll say 2.1 billion. And really the number is 17,500,000. I don't know what it is. And it sounds, authoritative. 2.1 billion. And here's the source. But it's wrong. It's not correct. Long time ago, started a job, and on my first day of the job, the office manager came to me and said, hey, Lee, you're going to go meet that client tomorrow. Can you have them pay our bill? The first day of the job, you're going to go ask me to meet a client and go ask them to pay us. And I was looking at all the bills, and every single month, it had the same number of dollars billed in copies every single month. How is that possible? It's not possible. It's not possible. And I knew it was going to happen. I reviewed everything before I went in there, and I was like, hello, nice to meet you. And then by the end of the day, I literally had to say, hey, so-and-so asked me to check in on our invoices because I see we're a little out of date. And the guy sitting across the table from me said, A, I can't believe they did this to you. And B, how is it that every single month you have the same number of copies at your agency? And I was able to say, I don't know. My second day on the job. But I will dig into it. And in the end, you had to write all these expenses off, etc. So it's a believable number one time. People can see things that are not true. But, you might say, oh, it's 5,001. It's 5,001 copies this month. It's 4,902 copies the month before. That's more believable than 5,000 copies every single time because it's different. And it's said with confidence, right? But AI does this. AI says things with confidence, even though right underneath that bar, it says AI can make mistakes, right? It says things with confidence. It might or might not give you a reference, but it's totally wrong. You have to verify everything that's a fact in there. It can make up imaginary experts. You might say, I'm writing an article. Here are my things. Here's my points I want to make. Here are my quotes that I've got. Here are the people I interviewed. And I want to make it my point of the article is to say this, this, and this. And it spits something out and it creates a quote that you do not have as a source with a person who does not exist, but it looks awesome. It looks awesome. You read the story, it's like, oh, fits right in. Don't even notice that it's not real. Much like quotes of, give me an expert quote on leadership. And they, might say, George Glass says leadership is for the birds. I believe that. Putting right in there. Doesn't exist. Does not exist. Inspiring, maybe. Funny, maybe, whatever it is. But it doesn't exist. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's perfect. Looks awesome. And then sometimes it's like if you ask for citations and give me sources, they make up citations, right? Ask for research on communication. You might get, according to the Journal of Strategic Communications, this article, blah, 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 blah. 78% of employees prefer leaders who use pencils. Well, we know that number is closer to 99%. So already I know it's a fake thing, but it sounds awesome because I like pencils. Not true. Make shit up. It's completely fabricated. This is not all the time, but it's enough. And I'll give you some examples. Just in the recent, like in the last month, Iowa, a court filing included at least 3 non-existent legal citations, apparently generated by AI, and led the state's disciplinary board to ask judges to strike parts of it. I'll give you the link to it. It's from Axios. In Australia, a lawyer got sanctioned for submitting AI-made fake case citations in a family law hearing. Then he apologized, but he got stripped from his autonomy for a few years. His whole career is stopped. I'll give you a citation for that as well, because I went and checked all these. And Reuters just published a story about even big firms are striking AI sources from filings if you've never verified them. You can get in hot water so freaking fast without verification. So, hallucinations. So it's great as a pencil. It's great as, oh, that'd be cool. But you have to verify. These are not like edge cases. These are like red flags. Red flags for AI. It's left unchecked. It spreads plausible nonsense. And in fact, Axios did a story that was from a NewsGuard report that hallucination rates for chatbots has nearly doubled in the year from 18% to 35%. That's misinformation to the X, right? I'll give you that Axios link as well so you can see it yourself. So it's inspiration. Use AI as inspiration, not as authority. Use AI as a draft with a pencil, not as the final with a pen. So how do we use AI without being duped by it? Treating it like a pencil. Tool for drafting, for sparking an idea, for sharpening your, might take something from ChatGPT and throw it into Claude and say, take this, Claude, take this what ChatGPT did, and then Claude with this tone, with this, whatever it is, and see what happens, right? In general, my opinion is right now, at least, that Claude does a better job of style and ChatGPT does a better job of inspiring. Right now, I'm sure that's going to change. Think of AI as your brainstorming buddy, but not as your fact checker, not as your final edit, not as the last straw, not the last piece of the pie, the first piece of the pie. You use it early on in the process, not late in the process. It's there to get you moving. It's not there to verify, edit, and sharpen the pencil on the project. So what are the guardrails? Verify everything. If AI gives you a quote, go verify it. Go to the source that it may not link it. So if it doesn't link it, type it in yourself at the source. Use it for drafts, not decisions. Sharpen with your own expertise. This is what I'm very concerned about for AI, that people who don't know what they're doing yet, who haven't gotten enough experience to know if something's good or not, right? Like, oh, that looks good. But sharpen whatever AI gives you with your own expertise. But because only you can bring your judgment. It doesn't have judgment. You have judgment. You have the experience and you have the context. It does not. It might present it as contextual, expert, and rational, but don't count on it. It is not that. Humans have judgment, expertise, and context. And then keep your voice. Even if you prompt it in my voice based on these 5 articles that I'm going to, or these 5 memos that I've written, in general, AI tends to the generic. So you know that it's using a lot of gerund. AI, ChatGPT uses a lot of gerunds along with the long M dash, the whole thing. There's just a lot of passive language. We talked about this. Don't use passive language. You got to flip it all over. Even if it tells you, even if you say, write it in active language, it gives you passive language. Edit it so it sounds like you. What are your words that you would use? Not like a thesaurus. That's not going to help you, right? So AI is super powerful. AI is here to stay. The other day, Salesforce got rid of, as Mark Benioff said, 4,000 heads, as if they weren't people attached to those heads, because AI was being used in customer service. Their chatbots were doing pretty, almost as good work as humans, and they could get rid of 4,000 head count people with jobs. So it's powerful. It's happening, right? It's happening. But remember what it is. It's a pencil, not a pen. And it should help you inspire, not finish anything. All right. That's all I got for today. Another pencil episode. Maybe I'll do a whole series of pencil episodes. Go get yourself a Ticonderoga, black number 2. Use AI as inspiration, not as the final edit. And until next time, I'm Lee Caraher, lover of all pencils. This is Everything Speaks.